Hi, good morning and welcome. This morning I am doing another foundation first impression. It's a foundation that's been launched, I would say it's been launched in the States for about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago roughly, and over here in the UK it's been here about a month. The foundation I'm talking about today is the Smashbox, let's get this right, Smashbox Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. I've got the foundation in shade, this is what it looks like by the way. The shade I have it in is 4.3. I'm hoping that it's going to be okay. It says that it's a skin tone deep undertone neutral, which is what I am. So gotta hope that it's going to be okay. Let me read you some information about it. I'm going to the smashbox.co.uk website. On their website it costs £29.50. You can buy it from, I'm trying to think, you can buy it from Lookfantastic I believe, and with Lookfantastic there's usually a code of some sort you can use. The code I tend to use all the time, don't tell anybody, is L for Lima, F for Foxtrot, so LF20. That normally gives you 20% off. It sometimes doesn't apply to some products, maybe particularly newer ones, but it's always worth giving it a go if you're buying anything on Lookfantastic. But don't tell anybody I told you that, okay? LF20. You'll normally get at least 20% off something in your basket, okay? It's worthwhile doing. Anyway, back onto this. So this foundation, it says it's a comfortable 24-hour full coverage foundation that weightlessly glides over skin. It controls oil and shine and has a blurring effect. It's also waterproof, sweat and humidity resistant, and it won't look cakey or cause acne. So I have looked at a few people on YouTube. Again, it's usually Americans who have tried this out. So I've looked at a few people, so people with different types of skin. So I've looked at people with dry skin, I've seen people with normal, combination and oily. Now let's think. On people with dry skin, I have noticed that they haven't been very happy with how it applies. But those people who use a good moisturiser and a moisturising or hydrating primer, they had a bit more better success with it. And those with oily skin, they've loved it. I've seen some people with oily skin apply this without primer. I would never do that. But when they say they've got oily skin, their skin is oily, but not as greasy and chicken worthy kind of oily skin like mine. So I'm going to try this out today. Wish me luck. It says it has some benefits. It's got 24-hour full coverage with a matte finish. It's weightless, comfortable, feel that's non-settling and non-creasing. Oil and shine control with kaolin clay and bamboo powder. I have heard those products do tend to absorb oil or sebum quite well. Who knows? They say it's waterproof, sweat and humidity resistant. So I'm not going to test the waterproof, but I will definitely end up testing the sweat resistant side of things, because I sweat a lot. I'm in that stage of my life and I just drip with sweat. For no reason whatsoever. I can be talking to someone and suddenly the sweat will just dripping. So the joys of being menopausal. And I do intend on going into a couple of kitchens today. One is a pub kitchen, so that might not be too hot, but I know the Chinese kitchen which I'll be doing sort of late afternoon, early evening, that will be hot and sweaty because it's a Thursday evening. They'll be in the middle of orders, it'll be hot, so I expect the foundation will get tested at that time. What else is there? They say smooth skin with a hyaluronic acid, so that's going to be a hydrating property, vitamin E and light scattering spheres for all skin types and non-acnogenic. It is cruelty free as well. It doesn't say that it's vegan, just says it's cruelty free. They say apply a photo finish primer, start with a drop of foundation and blend well. This formula reveals its true colour within 60 seconds and sets quickly. Build as needed. Right, how many shades there are? I think there was something like 50 shades. It's a hell of a lot of shades. I can't remember. Let me just do a quick count. That's what it looks like on the Smashbox website. You can see it's a good shade range there. So let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's that? That's 40 shades, isn't it? 5 times 8. It's 40 shades they've got. let's go. I also bought the primer. So this is the primer they say to go with it. I really didn't want to buy it because this was, I think it was like 20 something pounds as well. I really didn't want to spend that much, but I did buy a few things and I got a bit of a discount on everything because you know I don't buy anything at full price. Let me find the primer details. Yeah, this primer is, yeah, hefty price as well. So this primer is £28. Yeah, I really wasn't happy about that. I think I got it for £23.50 in the end once the discounts were applied, which is still way more than I want to pay. Because I paid £28 for my Becca Ever Matte Poreless primer. But I know that works. So I wasn't really happy about paying that much for a primer I don't know about. Okay, so here we go. So this says it's a transformative gel to powder face primer that feels like clouds and mattifies like magic. It truly controls oils and shine throughout the day and is infused with healthy skin ingredients like witch hazel, salicylic acid. Okay, so that's a good acid for people with oily skin. Can't remember why, but I know it's a good acid for oily skin. And zinc. The result is a silky cloud-like matte finish that helps makeup look better and longer. Time release, this is the benefits. Time release technology controls oil and shine for up to 12 hours. Infused with witch hazel and salicylic acid and zinc, it's weightless gel with a soft focus, silky smooth finish, helps makeup go on smoother and wear better, oil-free and non-greasy, and it's cruelty-free. Okay, let's crack on and start all this stuff, shall we? So let's start with the primer. I've already cleansed my face, obviously, and I've moisturised. I haven't put any primers on yet. I do normally double prime, but today I just want to test this out and see how we get on with this. But saying that though, the moisturiser I used was the was it Emily Hardy or was it Elemis? I can't remember. It's one of those. It's in a little sort of goldy bronze tube and it's a moisturiser and a primer with SPF 20 in it. I think it's Emily Hardy. I've got it upstairs so I can't even show you, but I think that's what it is. So it's got some priming properties in it anyway, is what I'm trying to say. So let's put this on. I'm going to bring you in closer so we can get close up and see what's happening here. Too close? You can live with it. Right. Okay, how does this feel? So it's okay, this is not bad because the primer I've used before from Smashbox and I didn't like it. It's the original primer they got, which is very silicone and I don't like those ones. They don't actually work that well for me. But this one doesn't feel like that. This actually feels very much like the Becca Ever Matte Poreless. Ooh, this is interesting. Could we have some competition? Yeah, and it's drying down like that as well. Ooh, and it's made my skin look naturally matte. And it's actually got quite a bit of a blurring effect as well. Ooh, okay, all right. This is looking good. So I'm just going to leave that for a bit, just to do its thing. So that's that primer. Let's shake this up a bit whilst it's doing all of that. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, 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 shake your booty, shake your booty. I'm going to be doing, oh god, I've got a couple of videos that I need to do. I'm just trying to think when I can fit them in. You know, work, life and everything. It's a bit difficult. I'm telling you, it's really difficult sort of having a YouTube channel and working full time as well. And obviously having a family as well. It's difficult just trying to get your videos in, try and upload them as frequently as possible. Trying to keep the interest, you know, the content varies so it's not just the same all the time. And it's not even so much the filming, it's actually the editing, because the editing takes hours. I end up tending to have to do is I film in the morning, I upload sort of as soon as I get home, and then once everything is done in the evening I start my editing. So I'll probably start about 10 o'clock at night and I'll finish like say 1-2 o'clock in the morning. That's why you'll see my videos sometimes go up at really weird times at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, because that's when I actually finish editing and it's like by that time I'm knackered. So yes, well, I am looking for what I'm going to do. I'm going to do half my face with a sponge and half my face with a brush, do my usual. So brush I'm using today is my NYX, it's my, what do they call it again? Oops, I'm using my NYX brush, professional, I think it's called a multi-professional brush or multi-purpose brush. It costs £14, so good, really good brush. Okay, the colour looks like it should be alright. I'd say that's about a pump's worth, isn't it, roughly? Who knows? Right. Let's apply this side first. I've got to dye my hair again. My hair is looking, oh god, this is a bit orangey. Okay, it says it says the colour will settle within 60 seconds, so let's hope it does. But that looks rather orangey. It's supposed to be a neutral undertone. It's very light, very, very light. Okay. Okay, it has settled down pretty quickly. Just that initial application was very orange. But I think the colour's going to be alright. So if you look at that side of my face, that's just one little squeeze. And that's the side that hasn't got anything on. Looks alright, yeah? Looks alright. So one little squeeze so far has given me, I would say, a light to medium coverage. So I'm going to do another second squeeze. Yeah, about that much again. Probably too much now. We'll see. But yeah, the colour, I've got it spot on again. Yes! I love it when I get it right. Oops. Yeah, I've got to dye my hair again. I've kind of approached Revlon Realistic to see if they'll send me a freebie box. I've had no response from them. So I think I've already pissed them off already. So I'm really good at pissing off brands because I'm so bloody honest. They don't like it, so they just don't want anything to do with me. See, I could do the thing like everybody else does and say, oh, everything's fantastic, oh, it's really sweet and brilliant and stuff, and no, just get given freebies every month. But that's not what it's about, because if you're relying on me to give an honest opinion of my experience, I can't tell you lies, because you're going to be spending your money based on what I've said. Now, I don't want to tell you lies, and then you find out that I've just told you a whole load of bull crap. That looks good, doesn't it? Ooh, that looks nice. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that looks good. Ooh, ooh, that looks good. Right, let me get a sponge. Oh, I'm feeling this. Ooh, that looks nice. Oh, yeah. Alright, let's use a sponge now. So this is just an old beauty blender. I need to throw this away, really. It's looking a bit torn and crap. That's the thing about beauty blenders. They get really torn up and stuff. Maybe it's because of how I clean them, because I clean them with soap and sort of use my hands to squeeze. I don't know if there's a more gentle way of cleaning them, but my beauty blenders do get kind of knackered and torn up and beaten up after a while. That's why I don't really want to buy any more, because, you know, at £16 or £20 how much they cost, it's expensive. And we don't really get decent sponges in beauty boxes. To be honest, I can't remember the last time I received a beauty sponge in a beauty box. It'd be nice to get one. If you're going to give us tools, rather than a razor blade, give us a beauty sponge. A decent quality one. This is nice. This is nice, guys. Oh, I'm liking this. And you know what? It feels really comfortable as well. Oh, this looks good. Oh, I'm happy with this already. Oh, wow. Colour is spot on, in my opinion. So I don't even have to go down my neck because the colour's good. Oh, my girl is happy. I'm happy, happy, happy. I don't think I need to do a second layer, or do I? I don't think I do, but I'll put a little bit more on just because I did on this side and I want to be fair. Just a little bit more. It's usually my forehead that wears out first, especially when I put my hat on, which I use for inspections on. It just wears foundation out on my forehead. But you know what? This looks good. Ooh. Ooh. Is my ranking system going to get messed up today? Because who's on top of my foundation chart already this year? Who's on top? I think Juvia's place was still on top. Then I had second place, the Skin Naked and... what was the other one? I can't remember. Skin Naked and the Zoeva, I think I had in joint second. But you know what? This might be kicking some butt later on today. We'll just have to see how it wears. But so far so good. Right, let me look at the time. It's a late start for me because I've been working from home today. So the time now, right, it's 7 minutes past 12. So I'm going to go into the office now after I've dropped my daughter off at college. So yeah, it's right, so let's call it 7 minutes past 12. Let's just call it 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock application. Just going to finish the rest of my face and then I will leave you all to it. So let's crack on. Not doing anything flash because I haven't got time. I literally haven't got time. So the eyebrow pencil I'm using today is the one I got in the Cashback. I think it was in the very first Cashback I got. It's from Evita Joseph. So I'm using this because my Benefit brow pencil, my Benefit Goof Proof, is nearly finished and I need to get another one. I'd like to get a nice, just a nice brow product pencil in a beauty box, but I never get one, and when I do get one it's the wrong colour. Or it's too waxy, but it's usually the wrong colour. I'll get colours like blonde and medium. See, that's the thing, with my Goof Proof pencil, I'll be able to extend down and do my tail. This doesn't do that for me. It doesn't give me enough colour. Okay, let's put a little bit of eyeshadow on. This is the one I got in my Discovered Beauty box. It's called the Suns Out Burns Out eyeshadow palette, and it was by Chantilly Cosmetics. It's fine. I'm holding on to summer here by using this palette. Not got in the Discovered Beauty box by FABFITFUN, I think they were called. It's one of the brushes I received. Another brush from the by FABFITFUN. I'm going to put on, I'm going to try this. Ooh, I was going to try the yellow, but that might be too much for today. It's just a normal work day. Oh, solid. I'll put this yellow one. It's called Glaze. Let's try this out. God, it might be a bit much for work, but so what? Okay, cool. That's just, yeah, that's enough for today. Don't need anything more than that. Right, let's put a little bit of blush on. Blusher Reloaded in Baked Peach, which I'm using here. Again, just really quick. This is me doing my makeup really quickly, guys. Eyeliner, need an eyeliner. This will do. Can't remember. I think this is an Ico eyeliner. Yeah, I'm pretty certain it's the Ico Fat eyeliner. It's all rubbed off now, but I'm pretty certain that's what it is. Mascara, really loving using this mascara. It's from Bobbi Brown and it's called the Eye Opening Mascara. Great for the top lashes, not so great for my bottom lashes because the head is so fat. I would love to have mascara of this quality but with a smaller head so I can do my bottom lashes. But I can't have everything. Highlighter, I'm going to use one which I got in, I think again it might have been a Cashback. Might have been the very first Cashback again, which I got back in April. It's either that or in the Togo box. It's one of the two boxes I got this in. But again, nice highlighter from Niqua. Right, MAC Chestnut lip liner, Old Faithful. What lipstick have I got here? Yeah, this will do. Yeah, this will do. This is a Bella Pierre lipstick, which I got in one of the beauty boxes, and I can't see what the colour is, but it's this kind of browny red colour, and that will do for an autumn day. I think it's browny red, looking more pink there, but we'll see. Yeah, it'll do. You can see how much thought I put into putting on my makeup each day, as in none. Fine, make sure I bring that with me. Okay, that's good. Let's get a wig on. live by the coast, and when I say that it's windy by the coast at the moment, it's windy. It's proper windy, and I don't think I can handle the embarrassment of my wig blowing off my head somehow. It'd be funny, and I'm sure somebody would like to catch it and put it on YouTube or Facebook, but not today, not me. Right, setting spray. Voila, let's do the slow-mo. Right guys, I'll see you all later. Take care. But that's 7 hours, alright? See you soon. Take care. Bye. Hi, good evening. I am back looking lovely and shiny as usual. But I just want to remind you that when I use the ring light, the light does bounce off my face quite a bit. So my face does look particularly oily. I will turn the ring light off so you can have a sort of a real idea of how my face looks in natural lighting. But yeah, it does look bad, but let me just show you. So I'm just going to turn the ring light off and then I'll show you. Okay, so this is the natural lighting, so that's how my face looks. So yes, my face is oily. It has been over 7 hours, so that is how my face looks without the ring light, but you can see there is some oil there. Let me turn the lights back on again. Okay, so to remind you what I've been testing out today. So this afternoon, about midday, I applied 2 new products. So the first thing I applied is from Smashbox. It's their new primer that targets more oily and shiny skin like myself. So that's the first thing that I tried. And the second thing was the actual foundation. So this is a recent launch of a new foundation called Smashbox Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. I am wearing it in the shade 4.3. It's a 725. So I've been wearing the foundation for about 7.5 hours now. Right, I'm just going to go back to their website so I can just look at what they say, the claims they make and how it's performed on my skin. So for those of you who this is the first time you're watching one of my foundation reviews, you're probably horrified at how oily my face is. I'm afraid you're going to have to get used to it, I'm afraid. So I'm one of those people, when I say I've got oily skin, I mean I have got proper oily skin. Not combination skin, true oily skin. I normally break out in oil without any sort of products on my face. After cleansing, I will break out in oil, usually within sort of an hour, hour and a half or so. If I put up a decent primer on my face, so moisturize and primer, if I do that and it's a good primer and a good foundation, oils will hold back before they start coming through after about say 4 hours or so. There is no product, and I mean there is no product that I have ever tried, and I don't believe there is a product on this planet that will hold back my oils totally. If they claim, or if it did hold back my oils completely, I think there is something very seriously wrong with that product, because I don't think it would be natural to hold back my oils that much, because I will naturally start thinking that my face, my pores are being clogged and something unhealthy is happening. I want my oils to break through naturally. It's really a case of just like controlling it for as long as possible. You know, my skin needs to do what it needs to do. My skin needs to breathe. And if my skin says that it wants to produce sebum, then let it produce sebum. But it's just a case of how much, right? So when I do foundation reviews, I do try to do a wear test for at least a normal working day. I tend to, with me today in particular, I was working from home this morning, so for the first 3-4 hours I was at home in my bedroom sort of tapping away on my laptop, and I wasn't wearing any makeup, so I didn't actually have any makeup on for the first 3-4 hours of my normal work day. But then I was going into my workplace this afternoon because I had a couple of meetings I needed to attend, so then I decided to put makeup on because I don't think anybody deserves to see me without makeup. So I applied makeup on, and that was about 12 o'clock, and that's when I put these new products on. So what I'm going to be doing now is just giving you my first impressions, my thoughts of how I felt this foundation and the primer performed today for the first time trying them out. It literally is a first impression. I will play around with it for another week or so just to see how I get on with it. And if my feelings and my thoughts change on the products, I will let you know. So let's start. When I do this, I do use a rating system, and each of my categories I mark out of 10. So my system is called TOPS, and the first, and they stand for, the T stands for transfer, so does the foundation transfer. The O stands for oil control, so how well does the products control my oil. The first P stands for performance, so how does the foundation, how did it apply, how did it wear, how did it feel, did it, did it melt, did it fade, did it separate, any of that sort of thing. The second P is the price, so how does the product compare in price to other products in its price range and other products that it's kind of marketed itself in that same bracket. And the final letter S stands for the shade range available. So when I do the first two things, transfer, I do transfer and oil together, and I do those using blotting sheets. So what I tend to find is that with blotting sheets, if the foundation is pretty decent, I won't use more than maybe 3, possibly maybe 3.5, but hopefully no more than 3 blotting sheets, and that's just covering all of the segments of my face. If the foundation isn't any good, then I expect a lot more than the 3. What I tend to find is that with my forehead, I tend to get more oil, and on my cheeks, I tend to get the transfer. So let's see how we do today. So this is sheet number 1. Oil and we've got foundation there. I must say that I didn't blot at all today, even though I was tempted to about, oh god, it must have been about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I did want to blot because I did start to feel a bit oily around my face, and I did want to, but I thought no, let me hold off until I get home and do this. So that was sheet 1. That's sheet 2, so you can see oil and foundation there. Okay, so yeah, I would say 2 3/4 sheets there of oil and foundation. Definitely lots of transfer going on there, but 2 3/4, just call it 3 sheets there of product. So that's what I expect from a decentish foundation. I know you're probably thinking, decentish, really? You look how oily you are. But that's me. I am, as I said, I am an excessively oily person. So I know, for me, that is actually pretty good going. So if I'm going to mark the transfer, well, obviously it did transfer. But saying that, though, I didn't really notice any transfer on my cap, because I do food hygiene inspections, so I wear a white hat. I didn't notice any foundation transfer on my forehead, but then I did that inspection. It was sort of between, and when did I do that? I did that sort of between 12:30 and sort of 2:30 when I was still in the kitchen and stuff, and then I came out afterwards. So my skin wasn't actually oily then, so it wasn't too bad. So for me, that's not bad. It's literally once the oil starts coming out on my face, that's when the transfer starts. So as soon as the oil is produced, that's when the transfer will start. So I think it actually controlled my and it, that my oils were controlled pretty well until, as I said, about 4:30 going on towards 5 o'clock, I started to notice the oil. When I went to the loo, I went to the loo about 2:30. I didn't notice my face looking oily at all. I mean, it looked almost like how it looks now, to be honest. It looked decent. So I would say for transfer, there is transfer, particularly when the oil starts to come through. That didn't start to come through until about 4.5 hours in. So I will say for transfer, this is pretty good until the oil comes through. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 because no, that's good. For oil control, again, really good. I didn't notice the oil come through again until, as I said, 4:30, 5 o'clock. And then I started to feel, and then once the oil started to come through, it really came through. There was no stopping it at that point. As you saw, my face just got shinier and shinier as it went on. But before that, my face looked pretty decent. It looked like a natural skin finish. And for me to look pretty decent for so long, that's unusual because my face will kind of settle into a natural glow usually. But my face kind of looked fairly matte for quite a long time actually. So I was actually really, really impressed with that. So I think for oil control, considering that I'm a very oily skin person, so I'm comparing it on my skin type, not anybody else's, I think that was really good. So I'm actually going to give it a 9 out of 10 because it was really good until the oils came through. So a 9 out of 10. I can't give it a 10 because for me to get a 10, you need to be doing sort of 6 hours plus and before the oils start coming through. So I think that managed really well. And I did get hot because after my meeting, so I did the inspection, had a meeting, then did another inspection. And as I said, that was in, I think I mentioned earlier, that was going to be in a takeaway where they're going to be doing cooking, first service. So it was already hot in there, and you know, I was looking all right. So it got tested in the humidity and so on, so I thought it did all right considering. Next thing is the first P, and that's performance. So when I'm looking at performance, I'm looking at how it applies, how it looked, did it work well with other products, you know, just any other issues. Did it blend well? Did it melt? Because usually if a foundation is not great for oily skin, it will start to melt and slip and slide off my face, and it also starts to separate as well. And that's particularly products that aren't great for oily skin. This hasn't done any of that. Let me get the mirror. This hasn't done any of that at all. Let me bring them in. Okay, so I have got some fading off of my forehead, so we can see up here where it has faded. And again, that's because I was wearing the cap. So you can see where it's clear almost, isn't it, where it faded off. Along the side, still pretty much decent coverage around the side of my face, which is unusual because I normally start getting fading around here because I'm very much a face toucher all the time. I talk with my hands, I'm always touching my face. But, you know, I can still see my blush. I can still see a little bit of highlight. Hasn't done bad, you know. Just bear in mind that it's only been a 7.5 hour wear test. It felt really comfortable as well. It's very light, it's very weightless. And what are the other properties they said about it? So yeah, the benefits are 24-hour full coverage with a matte finish. Well, okay, obviously on my type of skin, it's not going to give a matte finish for 24 hours, you know, 5 hours max, and I think that's it really. But I think on normal skin, you probably get a decent amount of wear on that. So I think, yeah, normal skin, you would, I don't know about 24 hours, but you'd get a good 12 hours at least. Weightless, comfortable. It definitely feels very comfortable, very weightless. It's only when the oil started to come through 4.5, 5 hours in, then it started to feel uncomfortable, and I was aware. But I was feeling more like oil on my face more than foundation. If I compare it to something like Estee Lauder Double Wear, the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. I've tried a sample of that because I do give that as a comparison quite a lot, and I've had a sample of that. They feel really heavy and cakey on your face. You get full coverage, but they feel heavy and cakey. This gives full coverage, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable. It feels very light, very comfortable, and you can almost forget that you're wearing it. I think if you've got dry normal skin, you won't even notice that you're wearing it. Someone like me, oily skin, you will start to feel it after a while as the oil starts to produce. They say waterproof, and I didn't test that. I tested the sweat and humidity, and yes, I thought it was pretty good considering it hasn't fallen apart on my face, no slipping, sliding and all that kind of nonsense on my face, so it's done really well on that. So for the benefits, well, where was I? On the performance, I think this is done really well, so I'm actually going to give it a 9.5 out of 10 because I thought, yeah, all good. Price wise, it's £9.50. That's expensive. So it's £29.50 on the Smashbox website, but I'm sure I saw it cheaper. Let me have a look at the Lookfantastic website. Okay, no, I'm mistaken. The foundation is £29.50 everywhere. So, you know, it's up there. It's one of the pricier foundations that I've bought this year. They all seem to be in the price range of £28 to £30. So in the market that it brackets itself in, you know, if I'm comparing it to the Naked, the Zoeva, what else was there? I did the Dose of Colours. I haven't got that down here. They're all in the same price range. There's probably 50 pence in between all of them when it comes to price. The cheapest foundation out of all the ones I've tried sort of during the summer, spring, summer, was the Juvias Place, which one isn't available in the UK. but you know, it's only $20 in the US, and this has been the foundation I have literally been wearing all summer. Would you believe it's nearly finished? You know, for me to finish a foundation, that's saying something. That is nearly finished. I'm looking, yeah, it's here. So I've done a good job in using that foundation up, I must say. So performance, as I say, 9.5 out of 10. Price, it's the same as all the others. I'm not sure what I gave all the others, but I still think it's quite an expensive foundation. So you've got to be certain that this is the foundation you want. So for price, I'm just going to give it an 8.5 out of 10, because it's, no, I still think it's up there. I don't think any foundation should cost that much. I don't care how good they are. This has got some skin benefits in it, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's still 30 quid, so it's expensive, you know, considered by, that's it. Shade range, where there's 40 shades available, and they do seem, the shades do seem to go right across the spectrum. Nice descriptions of the undertones. I seem to be able to find shade matches really well with this one. Again, first hit, found it, perfect description. If I compare it to the description of the Stay Naked, that was a bit of a weird description for that, and I still wasn't very certain about the colour. I think I probably could have found another more neutral shade in the Stay Naked. And the Zoeva, that was really orange when I first applied it, but you know, whereas this, it's straightforward. I knew my colour, knew my shade, perfect description, understood it, speaking my language, found my shade quite easily. And the shades, as I said, they seem to go from really, very fair. I mean, the first shade here, let's have a look. The first shade, 0.1, is described as very fair with neutral undertones. The next 0.2 is very fair with warm peachy undertones. Then, you know, if I look at the deepest shade they've got here, they've got very deep. So the very deepest shade is 4.6, which is very deep with cool undertones, and the one before that is 4.5, very deep with warm undertones. You know, it's nice clear language that we understand. You know where we are with that. So I think overall this is a good foundation. Not sure what did I give a score for the shade? For the shade range, it's good, can't argue. 40 shades, 9.5 out of 10. I'm going to give it 10 out of 10 because the descriptions are really good. So I'm going to give it, show how that rates with all the other foundations that I've tried this summer, but I'm pretty certain it's up there. For me personally, how did I feel about it? Of the foundations, I still like this one because I thought the colour match on this, on application and how it looked, absolutely beautiful. I'm going to put this as number 1. I'm going to put how this is feeling. I'm going to put these two now as joint 2. Yep, so Juvias Smashbox as my number 2s. I'm going to put the Zoeva, I don't know. I'm going to put the Zoeva 3 with Dose of Colours. And then Umo, whatever it's called, that's at the bottom because I haven't even got that anymore because I gave that foundation away. So yeah, so 1 is this one, the Urban Decay Stay Naked. Joint 2nd, these 2. The Zoeva Authentic with the Dose of Colours Meet Your Hue, they're joint 3. And we won't talk about the Omo. So yeah, there you go. Those are my foundations. I think, yeah, cool. With that, if you did, please don't forget to give me a like down below, show your love. Please engage and with comments down below. This foundation, I think, it is suitable for all skin tones, but you just got to make sure you do the appropriate skin prep for you. So if you have got dry, normal skin, please remember to put on a hydrating, moisturising primer and a moisturiser as well before wearing this. If you have got dry, normal skin, you're going to get a lot of wear out of it, and it's going to look good for a long time. Because it has got hyaluronic acid in it, so it is hydrating, and it will give you the hydration throughout the time you're wearing the foundation. So it's a good little foundation. For us oily skin people, we know what we need to do. We just need to blot and powder and do our things all through the day. So we need to do our setting powders, we need to use the right primers, and we need to use a setting spray. So that's for us true oily skinned wearers out there. But overall, good foundation. I'm going to enjoy wearing it. So I think once this one's finished, I'll be on to this. if not this. So I think, to be honest, these are the 3 foundations I've kind of come to love. That's it, guys. Talking too much as usual. I will see you soon. Thanks very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed as yet, please hit the button down below, because you know there's more videos coming up. And if you want to make sure that you're notified when I do an upload, you need to press that bell, because then that bell will guarantee that you'll be notified when I do my next upload. Right, that's it. I'm off. Time for my dinner. See you later. Take care.